fast, where truth moves faster than a Holstein calf. No waiting on some pretty page. We're charting new ground in the digital age. From genomic codes to roll-out facts, we cut through the noise, no holding back. Not your daddy's dairy news tonight. We're sparking debates with every insight. The ring's not where the real fight's at. It's in the data, in the channel chat. From pasture to processor to your morning cup, we're raising the stakes. Try and get ahead of herd. Yeah! Where the future's more than just a word. Ahead of herd. Come on! The bullvine's calling, let your voice be heard.
And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into feed cost risk management strategies that are reshaping the dairy industry. Here's your bottom line. Feed price volatility isn't going away. If anything, global interdependence and climate uncertainty are making it worse. But as we've discussed today, the tools exist, the strategies are proven, and government subsidies make foundation protection affordable. The dairy operations that implement comprehensive risk management in 2025 will be the ones still profitable in 2030. The question isn't whether you can afford to implement these strategies, it's whether you can afford not to. Your immediate action steps. Be prepared for the next DMC enrollment window. Analyze your historical feed costs. Contact a commodity broker about micro-futures contracts and start evaluating alternative feed ingredients in your region. Stop gambling with your dairy's future and start managing it strategically. Thanks for joining us on the Bullvine Podcast. If today's episode opened your eyes to new possibilities, share it with a fellow dairy professional who needs to hear this message. Remember, in today's transformed dairy economy, comprehensive risk management isn't just smart business, it's survival. Until next time, keep challenging the status quo, keep learning, and keep building a more profitable future for your operation. This has been the Bullvine Podcast. We'll talk soon.
Welcome back to the Bullvine Podcast, the show that digs deep into the topics that matter to dairy producers.
That's right. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a really insightful feature article from the Bullvine, one that sparked quite a lot of conversation. We're going to unpack it all.
Yeah, our mission for this deep dive is to really explore the dairy feed risk management playbook. This article gets into how profitable dairies are tackling, the relentless challenge of feed costs.
Stopping the bleeding, as they say.
Exactly. And actually turning volatility into, a significant competitive advantage. Because, let's be honest, for most operations right now, feed expenses are the single largest cost, just eating into margins.
No question about it.
So let's start with the stark reality the article lays out. It uses this powerful phrase that many dairies are hemorrhaging money on feed.
Oof, yeah.
The numbers are, they're undeniably challenging. Feed costs now consume 77.2% of operating costs.
77%.
And a remarkable 50.7% of total production costs.
Right.
It's just solidified its position as the largest single-line item.
Wow.
And get this, since 2019, feed bills alone have jumped an alarming 19%.
19%. So for a typical 1,000 cow operation, what does that actually look like?
That translates to an additional $228,000 in unexpected annual costs.
Right.
That's not just a budget tweak, That's a significant hit.
Those numbers are certainly sobering. I mean, the immediate insight here is that feed costs aren't merely an expense anymore. They've become, the single most critical leverage point for profitability.
Right.
The article really hits home, suggesting that for many, it's like hoping for rain during a drought when what you really need is a strategic irrigation system.
That's a great way to put it.
And the analogy they use captures this perfectly. It's like running your feed program, like breeding solely for milk volume, while completely ignoring butterfat and protein content, technically productive, but financially suicidal.
Ouch. Yeah, it highlights a critical disconnect, doesn't it, between just activity and the actual financial outcome.
It really does.
And then the article dives into what might be, the most uncomfortable truth in the industry.
Okay.
Only a small fraction, just 13% of farmers actually quantify their risks.
Only 13.
Yet a staggering 62% confidently believe they can handle their top 10 operational risks.
Wow, that's a gap.
It is. But here's the kicker. 30% have already experienced financial losses from these very risks.
So they've felt the pain, but still overestimate their ability.
Seems like it. The article doesn't pull any punches, calling this an operational delusion that's destroying family legacies. What do you think is behind this blind spot?
That's a great question, and I think it speaks to a deeper issue than just spreadsheets, right? The University of Wisconsin Extension confirms this crisis. They state that many dairies simply won't survive the decade.
That's stark.
It is, and not because they're poor cow people, but because they're poor risk managers. It's almost as if the mindset hasn't caught up to the current economic reality. And if you connect this to the broader landscape, the article points out that around 80% of countries aren't self-sufficient in milk production.
Right, so we're all connected.
Exactly. Which means we operate within this heavily interdependent global supply chain. Disruptions anywhere affect prices everywhere. So true feed risk management isn't just about your local co-op, it truly requires a global perspective.
Sort of like understanding global genomic trends for your breeding program, maybe.
Precisely. Same kind of thinking needed. External factors have a profound internal impact.
Okay, that's a powerful connection to make. So with that alarming reality clearly laid out, let's transition to the first strategic solution, the article champions.
Let's do it.
It really challenges the conventional wisdom that often views government programs as simply welfare.
Yeah, you hear that sometimes.
Instead, it encourages us to reframe them as sophisticated business tools or even subsidized genetic insurance. It's quite a mindset shift, isn't it?
It absolutely is, and it's a crucial one. The prime example the article focuses on is the Dairy Margin Coverage Program, DMC. Right. Its function is pretty straightforward. It provides financial help when the margin, milk price minus feed cost, falls below your selected level.
And the cost.
That's what's remarkable. It's just $15 per hundredweight for a really robust $9.50 per hundredweight margin coverage. Now, that's for the first 5 million pounds of milk production.
15 cents for $9.50 coverage? That seems incredibly affordable.
It is, and its track record speaks for itself. It yielded positive net benefits in 13 out of the last 15 years.
13 out of 15.
You really can't ignore that, especially with the critical enrollment window for 2025 coming up January 29th to March 31st. Mark your calendars.
A good reminder.
They also highlight dairy revenue protection, DRP, which starts around $1.26 per hundredweight after subsidies, and LGM dairy. Both offer more targeted performance protection.
Okay, so there are options. But what's particularly insightful here, I thought, was the concept of a layered defense strategy.
Ah, yes, combining them.
Exactly. The article emphatically states that smart operations don't choose between these programs. They combine them. It's not just picking one tool, right?
Right. It's like building a toolkit. Or like you said, not picking just one bull for the whole herd.
Perfect analogy.
Right.
And the real-world example they provide truly illustrates this. A 1,200-cow Wisconsin operation. They successfully used these layered government programs.
And how did that work out for them?
Well, they managed to protect an impressive 85% of their margin exposure for less than 60 cents per hundredweight total cost.
Okay, under 60 cents for 85% protection? Not bad.
Not bad at all. And when feed prices spiked 40% back in 2022, their government program payments covered an incredible $180,000 in additional costs.
Wow. That's the difference between weathering the storm and getting swamped by it.
Absolutely. It really underscores that difference between just surviving and actually thriving.
Okay, so armed with that strong foundation from government programs, let's move into the next level of risk management. This is the advanced hedging and strategic procurement part.
Right. This is where the article says we truly move beyond hope and prayer in feed purchasing.
Which is where many people still are, unfortunately.
True. So this section raises an important question. How do you lock in feed costs without tying up massive amounts of capital? The article highlights the CME Group's micrograins and oilseeds futures.
Ah, the micros. Yeah, these are interesting.
They call them a game changer for accessibility. These contracts are just 1/10 the size of standard contracts. So like 500 bushels for corn instead of 5,000.
Much more manageable.
Yeah, allows for incredibly precise hedging, even for smaller or mid-sized operations. Now, it's true, there are perceived risks of risk management.
Like margin calls.
Exactly, where you might need to put up additional capital if the market moves against your position. And basis risk. The difference between your local cash price and the futures price.
Sure, those are real considerations.
But the article suggests farmers avoid these tools, not necessarily because they don't work, but for other reasons. What did it say there?
It's fascinating, actually, because the university research cited confirms that the primary reasons are lack of management time and lack of understanding.
So it's not the tools themselves, it's the the hurdle to get started.
Pretty much. It feels too complex, takes too much time away from other things. And that's where this idea of strategic procurement really shines. The article describes the base plus opportunistic model.
Which sounded surprisingly practical.
It is. The winning formula they suggest is securing, say, 60-70% of your feed needs with forward contracts when prices dip. That gives you stability.
Okay, lock in the majority.
Right. Then reserve that remaining 30-40% for spot market purchases to capitalize on favorable prices when they pop up.
It's a balanced approach. They use that breeding analogy again. Would you breed 100% of your cows to unproven bulls based on daily whims?
No, of course not. You use a strategic mix, proven genetics, with maybe some carefully chosen younger sires.
Same idea here. And the documented case study showed operations reducing feed cost volatility by up to 35%.
35% reduction in volatility? That's huge.
And gaining budget certainty on over $800,000 in annual feed expenses for a 1,000 cow operation. That's a remarkable level of control.
Definitely takes the guesswork out of a huge chunk of your costs. And if we broaden our view beyond just purchasing, the article then shifts to supply chain resilience.
Right, another increasingly important concept.
Yeah, the article points out that geographic diversification isn't just for genetics anymore. Feed costs show significant regional differences. California feed expenses, for instance, averaged 20% higher than the upper Midwest over 5 years.
20% just based on location. Wow.
Yeah. So building supply chain resilience requires what they call absorptive capacity.
What you mean?
Basically having backups. Multiple sourcing strategies, diversified transportation, maybe supplier segregation, and definitely sufficient inventory. These are your defenses against disruptions.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. There's a compelling case study they shared about a Pennsylvania dairy cooperative. They reduced feed costs by 12% simply by establishing relationships with 3 regional grain elevators within 50 miles.
Instead of just one far away.
Right. Instead of relying solely on one distant supplier, the transportation savings alone were substantial, apparently.
Makes sense. Okay, so this next theme is really interesting. It's described as a hidden profit center that many operations might be overlooking.
Ah, the alternative feed ingredients.
Yes, the article provocatively likens it to discovering powerful outcross genetics, finding value where others might not be looking.
And what's truly insightful here is what the article calls the economic reality that nobody talks about.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It shares the, let's say, controversial truth that most nutritionists actively discourage alternative ingredients.
Really? Why?
Because they're harder to formulate and require more expertise. It's often just easier, to stick to standard commodities like corn and soy. Less hassle, maybe.
I could see that. But the evidence?
The evidence the article provides is compelling. A documented case study showed that including fresh citrus waste, yes, citrus waste at 7.1 kilograms per cow per day, resulted in $0.37 per cow daily savings.
37 cents a cow a day.
Yep. For a 1,000 cow herd, do the math. That translates to over $135,000 in annual savings.
Whoa! And milk production. Components.
Identical milk yield, fat, and protein content. No drop-off.
Incredible.
Even more, they found in 77% over 100 animal feeding studies, alternative ingredients performed optimally or even increased productivity.
So it's not just about saving money. It can actually work just as well or better.
Potentially, yes. They give specific examples like corn DDGs, great protein and energy, often around 240 ton, canola meal, maybe 380 ton, beet pulp, 210, even field peas, which can replace up to 60% of traditional protein energy sources.
Lots of options beyond the usual suspects.
And there's an environmental bonus too, like displaced cropland, carbon mitigation, plus a 2,500 cow California operation saved over $400,000 annually by partnering with almond processing facilities, using their byproducts.
$400,000. That's serious money found in something others might see as waste. It really highlights the untapped potential in looking beyond the usual. And, okay, to bring all of these strategies together, the article emphasizes the crucial role of technology integration.
Right, like precision dairy farming has transformed other parts of herd management.
Exactly.
And this brings us to a fundamental question for every producer listening. Are you truly using technology to enhance your decision-making? Or are you still, largely managing by gut feeling and hope?
Good question.
The article points to advanced feed management systems, things that track costs, analyze nutritional efficiency, optimize formulations in real time.
Making data-driven decisions.
Precisely. It cites research showing that precision dairy farming tech, broadly speaking, has led to significant improvements. A 30% increase in milk yield, a 25% reduction in feed costs, and a 20% decrease in veterinary costs.
Those are major impacts.
Yeah, this isn't just about fancy gadgets. It's about measurable, impactful improvements straight to your bottom line.
Okay, so after exploring all these facets of the dairy feed risk management playbook, what's the core message, the key takeaway you think a farmer listening today should really grab onto?
The core message, I think, is absolutely clear. Feed price volatility isn't going away. It's just not. If anything, global interdependence, climate uncertainty, it's all making it more pronounced.
So business as usual isn't an option?
No, comprehensive feed risk management isn't just smart business anymore. It's rapidly becoming non-negotiable for survival. The article draws a stark, but I think important, contrast.
Which is?
Corporate dairies are thriving precisely because they are strategic about this stuff, while some family farms are operating like it's 1985.
Oof. Tough, but maybe true in some cases.
And the industry warning is unambiguous. Operations failing to embrace sophisticated risk management are doomed. It's that serious.
Okay, well, the good news is the article provides immediate actionable steps you can take to start implementing this playbook, not just theory.
Right, tangible things.
First, if you haven't already, make sure you enroll in DMC during that critical window, January 29th to March 31st, 2025.
Step 1, check. Next, you need to understand your own operation better. Analyze your historical feed costs. Pinpoint your top 3 feed ingredients by dollar volume.
Know where the money's really going.
Exactly. That's the first step to managing it.
Third, take that next step and reach out to a commodity broker. Talk to them about microfutures contracts for those main ingredients.
Even just exploring it is a start. Small steps into hedging can make a difference.
Fourth, dedicate some time to evaluating 3 alternative feed ingredients available in your region. Do a proper cost per nutrient analysis.
Yeah, don't just guess. Run the numbers. You might find significant hidden savings.
Fifth, proactively develop relationships with at least 2 additional regional feed suppliers.
Diversify your sources. You never want to be reliant on just one, especially for something as critical as feed.
And 6, look into implementing feed management software. See how it could integrate with your existing dairy management system.
Get that data working for you. Optimize decisions in real time, not based on last month's report.
Finally, number 7, calculate your current feed cost volatility over the past 6 months, and then establish clear target reduction goals.
Can't manage what you don't measure, right? Set a target.
Absolutely. So just to quickly recap those key takeaways we discussed.
Yeah, good idea. First, that government program Goldmine, like DMC. It offers substantial subsidized profit protection. Far too many operations are still ignoring it.
Second, the alternative feed revolution. Strategic use of byproducts can lead to truly massive annual savings, potentially over $135,000 for a 1,000-cow operation.
Third, procurement strategy transformation. Combining forward contracts with spot market flexibility. It significantly reduces volatility and ensures budget certainty on hundreds of thousands of dollars in annual expenses.
Fourth, technology-driven precision. Integrated software and data lead to measurable, real-world improvements in milk yield and cost reductions. Don't underestimate the tech.
And fifth, that 90-day implementation reality. The article stresses that a structured, phased approach can genuinely transform your risk management quickly, despite any industry resistance or, feeling like it's too complex. It can be done.
It really seems the takeaway is that the question isn't whether you can afford to implement comprehensive feed risk management strategies anymore.
No, the question is...
It's increasingly clear that you cannot afford not to. The dairy operations that embrace and implement comprehensive risk management in 2025 will be the ones still profitable, still thriving in 2030.
It's about future-proofing your business.
Exactly. Your cows, your family, and your legacy. Well, they deserve better than just hope and prayer when it comes to managing your biggest cost.
Well said. And that's probably all the time we have for today's Deep Dive. For more articles and insights that matter to your operation, be sure to visit www.thebullvine.com.
And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss a deep dive. Thanks so much for listening.
Welcome to the Bullvine Podcast, where we cut through the industry noise to bring you the bold truths about modern dairy farming. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a topic that's either making or breaking dairy operations across the globe right now. Feed costs are devouring over 77% of operating expenses for most dairies, and while some operations are bleeding money with reactive buying strategies, The smart players have quietly deployed sophisticated risk management arsenals that are locking in predictable profits year after year. If you're still managing feed costs like it's 1985, while your competitors are using hedge fund level strategies to stabilize their margins, this episode is going to be a wake-up call. We're talking about government programs that deliver positive returns 13 out of 15 years, alternative feed ingredients that can save you over $135,000 annually, and procurement strategies that reduce cost volatility by 35%. This isn't just another discussion about cutting costs. This is about transforming feed price volatility from a profit killer into a competitive weapon. So grab your coffee, because we're about to reveal the exact playbook that's separating the profitable dairies from the walking dead. Let's dive in.